Hi guys, welcome back to Let's Play more Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. So, we're gonna try to have Ike finish this guy. Wow, so you made it this far, have you? Tell me, how many pathetic priests did you have to kill to get here? Come on, 5 more? They're pretty scrawny. Probably take 10 or so without breaking a sweat. Cowardly cur, time to stop hiding and fight like a man. Okay, Ike lived. Or should have brought more priests. Or some babies. Dang. Oh my god. Alright, well we did it without killing any priests. Come on, we gotta get mad bonus experience for that, right? Thank you very much. I never imagined that we would be rescued by soldiers of an enemy nation. There's no way we cut down innocent priests being forced to fight against their wills. Father, we bear no ill will toward the kingdom of Dain itself. We wish only to reclaim the homeland which was unjustly taken from us. That is the reason we fight. We had no desire to invade this land. Nothing else, please believe that. Beg your pardon, may I have the favor of your name? Valencia Vidal Crimea. I'm the sole survivor of the Crimean royal family. Oh, you... let us give thanks that you are alive and well. And please, I beg your understanding as well. There are many Daeans who do not support the king's actions. I understand. Young General, this is for you. Huh? As thanks for saving our lives. A sheer staff. Yes! That's the item you get for not killing any of them, too. Now it's time to search this place. My Lord Ike, may I join you? Sure, why not? Everyone's lending a... Ike, where are you? Mist, I'm over here. Ike, this way, quickly. Ryson's in trouble. What? Ryson? What is it? He's been like this from the moment he set foot in this room. He's just staring at the walls. What is all this? Every wall has the same pattern on it. It's not a pattern, it's an ancient language. All chants and spells and magic scrolls are written, Leslie. Can you read it, Soren? Some, but not all. Spells are simple, whereas this is a complex narrative. I think Prince Ryson could read it. But this is the same language that Leanne was speaking. It is. It's the Serenus language. Their chants are all in this language too. So, Ryson is reading what's written on the walls? It appears that way. Shall we leave him be? There's a lot of writing here. This could take hours. I think that's a good idea. Ike! What is it? From what I could gather, I think a person was locked in this room sometime in the past. You don't know who it was, do you? I wasn't able to read enough of the writing, but I found this under the bed. Is this... I think it may have belonged to whomever was imprisoned in this room. I apologize. I took up much of your time. Ryson, you don't look so good. Why don't you rest for a bit? No, I'm fine. It's more important that we talk. About the owner of this feather? Was it in that room? Soren found it. Whose was it? Lilia, my older sister. The writing on the walls is hers. You have an older sister too? Will you tell us about it? She was kidnapped 20 years ago, on the night of the Serenus massacre. I thought that Lilia had been murdered along with my other brothers and sisters. I believed that until today. Who took her? The walls say only that he was a large human. She probably never knew who it was. He thrust the clan treasure at her and demanded that she use her magic to revive the thing sealed inside it. He extorted her again and again, but to no avail. Lilia refused his request every time, because she did not possess that power. Someone wanted to revive the Dark God. Shortly after she was brought here, Lilia fell ill and collapsed. I'm not surprised. It was a terrible time. She was imprisoned in that tiny room, with no view of earth or sky. Oh, that's Mist. I'm sorry. I just feel so sad for Lilia and for Ricin too. I beg your pardon. Let me continue. A young Bjork began coming to the room to care for Lilia. She had bluish hair and blue eyes, and her heart was unusually pure for a Bjork. In time, Lilia and she came to be friends and shared mutual trust. Lilia decided to entrust her hopes to the woman. They shared no common language, so it took some time. But eventually the Bjork woman understood what it was Lilia wanted, which was to take the treasure and the song and flee this temple. Brother, is there anything else written about this Bjork woman? A name, perhaps? Elena. Translated into our language, it was probably Elena. I knew it! Mother! It was our mother! What? Are you sure? Our mother's name was Elena. Like me, her hair was blue, as for her eyes. Ricin, the object you referred to as your clan treasure was an aged bronze medallion, wasn't it? How did you know that? The medallion became my mother's keepsake. The song, too. My parents both gave their lives to protect it. Ike, you and Mist are Elena's children? Then Laren's medallion is here? The medallion was stolen, probably by Dan. This is unbelievable. Anything like this be chance? To be honest, I don't fully understand all that's happened, but it all makes sense. It all comes together. Yes, that's the song that... But the melody is a little different, isn't it? It's similar to the song Ricin and Leanne sang in the forest. Mother used to sing it as a lullaby. It is a song of release, the one Lilia entrusted to Elena. But I wore the medallion and sang that song almost every single night. Nothing ever happened. The magical effect of the song is awakened by the power of the singer. It can't be unleashed by just anyone. The true song of release can only be sung by a girl named Altina. Lilia wanted your mother to take the melody to Altina and return the medallion to its rightful place in Serena's forest. The story is becoming clearer and clearer. My father fled Dan to protect my mother, who was carrying the amulet. Ike, how did you know? Bulk told me. He told me about my father's past, and the amulet, and the Dark God, too. So you know everything. King Ashnar took Lilia, didn't he? That would be the final piece of the puzzle. After all, the man who found my father was the king's henchman. Ike, are you saying you know who killed Commander Grail? You never said anything about that. We all thought his murderer was unknown. Why didn't you say anything? I don't know. I never felt like talking about it. He was a Dane soldier, wasn't he? Who was it? Who was the man who killed Commander Grail? Ike, tell me! Can we discuss this later? Oh, yes, of course. To this point, we've all been fighting for the liberation of Crimea. Even if we now add to that stopping the Dark God from being released and punishing Commander Grail's killer, our enemy remains unchanged. King Dayan and his henchmen are the ones we must defeat. It's mysterious, isn't it? I mean, Radiance said the same thing earlier, but could all this really be mere coincidence? The fall of Crimea, Ike's parents, the death of Radiance's sister, the fact that everything leads back to Dayan. If true, it changes the meaning behind this war. The treatment of Lulina is one thing, but the assassination of the former apostle, the framing and destruction of my nation, it was all part of Dayan's plan to steal the medallion and the song. And the reason I fight. That's the decision we've reached. We'll respectfully comply. We can march quickly and know that someone's protecting our backs. It would be a huge relief. As you wish. May the fortunes of war be with the Crimean army. We have need of soldiers. Send word. We will move out at top speed. I'll be counting on it. The information gathered at Palmini Temple leads Ike ever closer to the hidden truths behind the war. Assassination of Benion's former apostle led to the massacre of Serenus. As Serenus' princess was kidnapped, the medallion is stolen. A complex scheme seems to connect these events, and now those threads have become clearer and clearer. Ashdard's motives are still a mystery, but his silhouette lurks in the shadows of all that happens. Ike returns from the temple and renounces all rights to the rule of Dayan. Those rights are then passed through General Zelgius of Benion to the Apostle herself. The Crimean army absorbs another troop from Benion, and with its might increased marches on the Dayan-Crimean border. Its next goal is the Ribbon Bridge, a massive structure that connects the two countries. The Great Bridge. My Lord Ike, may I have a moment? Of course, what is it? The soldiers say that tomorrow we'll be able to see the Great Bridge. Once we cross it, we'll be in Crimea. That's what I've been told. Feels like I've been away for many years. Crimea is the land where I was born and raised. I feel so removed from it. I feel now, at this late juncture, that I know almost nothing of my own country. It's an unreal experience. I know what you mean. I don't have the sense that we're on the brink of being back in Crimea either. Don't even remember this area at all. Maybe it's because I was born in Gallia and raised in the countryside. But countries are joined together like this all over the continent. I'm really in awe of it all. So am I. For one who knew nothing of life outside the royal villa, everything is so very big. Big? I guess you're right. When we left Crimea, it was spring. The snows were melting, the days were getting longer, and the weather was mild. It's been almost a year since we departed. Only a year, but the distance we traveled together to get here has been long and hard. Feels like many years have passed us by. Yet this is the land where I was born and raised. Oh, my dear sweet Crimea, how is it that you feel so far away? For me too, Crimea is my homeland. We're almost there. Let's go home. It is as you say, my Lord Ike. Let's go home. Oh, what a romantic setting. Makes it hard to make an appearance. I guess I could just leave you too? Huh? I know that voice. Hey there, Ike. Looks like we stayed alive long enough to be reunited. Aren't we the lucky ones? Ranulph! My Lord Ranulph, how nice to see you again. My Princess Alicia, welcome home. I'd curtsy, but the tail makes it look silly. What are you so darn chipper about? Once I heard the news that the Crimean army had taken the Dane capital, I ran all this way to greet you. How goes things in Gallia? You're not engaged in open hostilities with Dane, are you? Not yet. What's that supposed to mean? It might be your army's success. The elders have finally agreed on something. Gallia will lend its full support to Princess Crimea's efforts to liberate her homeland. It's a done deal. Really? So, the Gallian army is going to establish communications with them and create a united front. That being said, Gallia is here to support you. The Crimean army will always be at the center of the effort. Don't forget that. King Gallia is being most gracious. That posture will allow Crimea to lay claim to any victories we achieve. Don't say things like that. I'm shocked that you would understand such subtleties. Who are you, and what have you done with Ike? I don't believe you have the right to speak to me like that. I'm kidding. Actually, Shorn just lectured me on the same situation when we received reinforcements from Benyon. Of course. You were tutored by your nervous little staff officer. Now I get it. Has he snapped yet? He seems high-strung. King Cagnagus is always thinking of Crimea, isn't he? How can I ever repay him? Princess, let's win your country back. When that's done, please rebuild the bonds of friendship between our nations. That would be the ultimate way to say thank you, wouldn't it? Yes, of course. Ike, I'd like to report the results of our last battle. MVP Ike. There were no deaths and no injuries beyond our capabilities to heal. Everyone performed exceedingly well. That is all. By your leave, I'll excuse myself. Ooh, I'm excited to see how much experience. Ooh, that is quite a bit. All right. Approach the enemy and attacking first. I like that, actually. On ability alone, that is also good. And then Mike can have the other one. Yeah, perfect. Certain instance cause enemies' weapons durability to drop. Doubles the effective shell. Don't really need that. Alright, let's see how we can support. Finally! Oh, Leith! Thought about what you said and I hear the dragon knight we fought in Talrega was your father. Why did you stay with us? Choosing a band of mercenaries over your own father. Fate works in strange ways. Had I not known about Commander Ike and the mercenaries, had I not known about you Lagoos, I'm sure I would be with Dane even now, taking pride in my work as Dane's soldier and offering my life to Rashner. I wouldn't have hesitated to smite you all, but now I've learned the truth. And this isn't like the time I chased your ship from Port Toha, hoping to win fame and approval from my father. When I joined you, I acted on my own accord. For the first time, I chose what I thought was a righteous path. Even if my decision forced me to face my own father, it's too late to change things now. That's why I'm here. Will you shake my hand, Jill? What? I've heard of a Bjork custom, where the shaking and holding of hands shows friendship. I understand you now. I empathize with your choice, and admire the strength it took to make it. Leith, yes, of course, please, let us shake. If we listen to each other, and are willing to compromise, I know the Bjork and Ligus can come to live with each other. Sure of it. Alright. So that's going to be it for this chapter. We'll have to continue doing this next time. I'll see if there's any more supports we can do, which I don't think there is. And I will award the experience and everything. So that'll be it for this episode, guys. Godspeed, stay frosty. See you.